So there is more to meditation than just watching your breath. In fact, that is only one kind of meditation. There's lots of different kinds of meditation that you can choose from, and you can do different kinds of meditation at different times, depending on what it is that you want to do or what inspires you in any particular moment. So the different kinds of meditation can fall into two main categories, and that's form and formless, or with an object and without an object. So for meditation that has form or that uses an object, we have always some object on which to rest our minds. So we might be resting our minds on the breath, common one, or on something that we can see, a sight, or a sound, something we can hear. It might be something we could smell, something we could taste, something we could feel, like the feeling of our body sitting or walking. All of those things can be objects for our meditation. And part of that is contemplation. So you can have resting meditation or contemplative meditation. Now, contemplative meditation is when you're actually doing some self-reflection. So it could just be the time that you take to sit and look at yourself and go, all right, well, this is how I'm thinking and feeling, and, this is what I want to do with my life, and just, some sort of general evaluation or whatever self-reflection you want to do. That is a form of meditation. And so is another form of contemplation where you might listen to someone talking, like this, for instance, and then you just turn it off and you just rest your mind on what you heard. You just kind of allow that to sort of permeate your being and to sort of rest your mind on those ideas and try them out for size, see how they feel. Or you could be reading a book and you just read one sentence and then just let that sit, and you just kind of rest your mind on that single thought, whatever that concept was, whatever it was that you want to kind of mull over, you want to kind of get a feel for. It's particularly useful for, people who want to read the Bible and think about that, or works of the Buddha, or any kind of religious stuff, or just, any kind of philosophy that you want to think about. Right? So that contemplative meditation is a kind of an active meditation, because you are actively actually thinking, though you're trying not to think. It's more that you have, as your focus, as your meditation, you have a thought, or you have a phrase or a sentence on which you're resting your mind. And out of that you allow some kind of understanding to come. So we have meditation with form or with an object, and then we have meditation without an object. So the meditation with an object can be two kinds: resting meditation, which is just resting your mind on an object, and contemplative meditation, where you're actually engaging your thought processes and you're considering some question. Formless meditation is another thing entirely. Formless meditation comes into play at that point where the sense of separation between the meditator and the object of their meditation just falls away. At a certain point in meditation, that's what happens. You're just there. You're just being. You're no longer me meditating on something. Rather, you just are. And at that point, your meditation becomes formless, because there is no longer any object that you're focusing your mind on. You don't need to do that anymore. Once the sense of a separate object has dissolved, then you just remain in that state. And if your thoughts all start, spinning around and coming back up again, so, you lost that state, then you go back to resting your mind again on something and just going through the process of meditation again, until again you get to this point where all of that just fades away and you're back in this formless state again. So formless just meaning that there's nothing on which you are directly focusing. Now that could be like, just being as well, so it's like I can meditate in the moment by just taking a deep breath breathing out, just letting everything drop away and just simply being. Being aware. No need to meditate on anything. And it might only be a fraction of a moment during which I can just let everything go and just sort of be without any sense of me being anything or focusing on anything. But nevertheless, that is formless meditation because you're just simply being here now. Being here now, just being in the now, that could be still form. It could still be a meditation on form if you're sort of focusing on being in the now. So when it's genuinely formless, there is no sense of you focusing on something. I hope that I've tweaked your curiosity on these different kinds of meditation. And I did forget to say that within the resting meditation, there is passive and there is active meditation. And I'm going to talk in future mostly about active meditation because I know that suits neurodivergent people best. And I am one, which is why I spent 20 years doing active meditation. Worked for me. So the object of your meditation could be a visualization process. That's what I call imaginative meditation. So it's quite entertaining. More later.